everyone from VN Express. My name is Dr. Paul D'Alfonso from Maple Healthcare. We have been getting a lot of questions online about how you should actually be sleeping at night, or what positions you should be sleeping in to better help your back or to relieve back pain. Changing your sleeping position is one of the most difficult things to do because it's not something that you're usually conscious of and your body just automatically does it. But we're going to go over two of the most proper positions to use when you're sleeping to help you with any back problems or any neck problems that you may have. Now, what we're going to look at is the different types of pillows. Most people have pillows that look like this. Some people have the neck roll that looks like this. This is actually better for the neck if you can have something that's a little bit curved and not too thick, because it helps to improve the natural curve of the neck when you lie back on it. You're going to put it right where the shoulders meet the neck, so right about there. And then you lay back. Now what this does, this will actually improve the curve of the neck, the natural curve that's supposed to be there to help take pressure away. If someone has low back pressure, usually you actually want to put a nice big pillow underneath the legs or underneath the knees. See the knees come up a little bit, and it will actually relax the low back and the hips. Now, the next position that's very common is everybody sleeps on their side, they sleep on their shoulder. Now, for when you're sleeping on your side, you can already see that he's sort of crunched up and his neck is going like this. It's going to compress the nerves in your neck and shoulder, and it's going to give you numbness down the arm, and it's going to wear down the joints in your neck. What we're going to do is we're going to use this pillow because this one is not big enough. And you can see, there we go, it makes his head a little bit more level, which is exactly what you want. But you can see the shoulder is still very compressed. Alright? So you don't want your shoulder to have too much pressure on it while you're sleeping because it's going to cause numbness. Get that shoulder out a little bit like this, and then you would put a pillow behind you for support here so he can actually lay back on it and not have that arm hanging loose. For people that have chronic shoulder pain that can't lay on the bad shoulder and it hurts, especially when they wake up, usually their arm's like this, and then they wake up and it's really sore and really stiff. That's because you're stretching that shoulder muscle as you're sleeping and you don't even know it. And then in the morning when you wake up and try to move it, it's extremely painful to move because there's been a lot of pressure on it. So, what you want to do for a shoulder pain problem is you actually want to put a pillow or some type of cushion underneath the shoulder. Sometimes you can put it right here like this, just so it takes the pressure off this way, or you can actually hug onto it like that, so it doesn't fall down farther and doesn't stretch the back of that shoulder muscle. Alright? Sometimes people use the very long body pillows. Those also work as well. So you can put the body pillow between the knees and the shoulders. So if you're a side sleeper or you're a face-up sleeper, it doesn't matter. Both positions are good as long as you prepare your body to sleep in a much more comfortable position. Okay? So the idea is to take pressure off certain joints and make sure everything is nice and relaxed for the spine. I don't recommend that people sleep face down. Sleeping face down is not a good position for you. It's not good for your neck. It's not good for your back. But some people can only sleep that way. Sleeping like this is going to put a lot of pressure here over time. So what you would want to do is you put a pillow right under the pelvis, because what this is going to do is it's going to put pressure going this way, and it's going to increase the curve of the spine just a little bit and take pressure off. The muscles won't be spasming so hard. Most people don't have a hole in their bed like that, so they can't sleep face down like this. So usually they would have to have their head to the side. And that's why I don't recommend it, is that if you have to sleep with your head to the side like this every night, it's going to cause you a bad neck. It's going to cause you degeneration of the spine and the joints. So it's preferable not to have to sleep this way, but if you do, there are ways to make it a little bit easier. So pillow under the hips, and also a pillow under the ankles right there will actually help to relax very well. It's not really pain, but when some people have a lot of reflux and digestive problems, and they can't sleep in a position like this, the minute they lie back, they start to get reflux and it starts to give them heartburn, and they start to feel bad burning in their throat. So if you do have reflux and you have a bad neck, it's a bad combination, because most people will they'll just pile a bunch of pillows under them like this, and this will help them to have less reflux, but it's also going to give them a bad neck because their head's going too far forward. So what you have to do is somehow figure out a way to get the pillows under your mid-thoracic area. It helps to bring your chest up a little bit so gravity pushes the acid down, but also your neck is still going to be in a good position. It's still going to be able to lean back just a little bit to help the curve of the neck be proper and correct. With a condition called plantar fasciitis, or pain in the bottom of the foot, right about here in the sole of the foot, it's a very common problem, and one of the problems that they have is also sleeping position. One of the major problems for them is that when they sleep with sheets that are too tight, if the sheets are tucked too tight over their foot and pull their foot down like this, it's actually going to allow this to heal in a very tight position every night. And then when you get up and you step on it in the morning, this tendon here, this tissue right in the middle of the foot here, because it healed in a tight position, it will stretch when you take your first step and it becomes very painful. So what I have to recommend is that one, don't sleep with any sheets on your feet. That's one thing to do. But also not to tuck the sheets of your bed too tight and leave your feet under there, because it's actually going to cause a problem over time. Okay? If you guys have any more questions, I'd love to answer them. Thank you so much for your time.